I'm joined by Conservative strategist Will Stewart. He's a senior vice president at public affairs firm Enterprise Canada. Will, let's begin with the rally in Hamilton. Poilievre making multiple visits to this city over the last year. Why does he think Hamilton's a good target for drumming up Tory votes?
Well, here we go. Day three, as you say. Hamilton in the spotlight today for the Conservatives. You know, it is a spot that's made up of a diverse population for sure. You've got basically all three parties represented in and around the area. So it is a fertile ground for votes. It's a fertile ground for seats. And a lot of those seats are actually in play. And what we've seen throughout the time where the Conservatives have been in Ottawa and even Doug Ford's Conservatives in Ontario, there's been a real push for the support of private sector organized labor. And I think that part of the appeal for Hamilton for all parties is attracting that, but certainly for the Conservatives who've got a demonstrated track record right now of attracting those types of votes at this difficult time.
Well, we're coming off the provincial Conservatives turning Hamilton Mountain blue for the first time in a couple decades. I'm sure the federal Conservatives are looking at that and saying, hey, there's something here.
Exactly. There's certainly people who are open to the ideas. As I said, there's sort of orange, blue, and red seats in the area. So I think there's a lot of flux. Some seats may switch this time around for sure. And I do think that, you know, the tariffs, steel and aluminum tariffs for our friends at Dofasco and Stelco are going to play huge in this. And there'll be a lot of discussion about that, I'm sure, around the Tim Hortons and the diner tables in Hamilton.
All right, let's talk about the polls. Two new ones have Carney and the Liberals gaining ground on Poilievre. One from Leger says he's up by 6 points. The one from Angus Reid saying they're up by 8. Why do you think Poilievre is failing to grow his support?
Yeah, look, it's not been great polls, certainly for the Conservatives at this point. They need to find a new solution to sort of beat back some of these numbers. I think there's certain novelty that comes with Mark Carney. I think that's responsible for a bit of it as people kick the tires and actually start to pay attention to politics. But I also think the entire issue set of the campaign changed. It used to be a discussion between a guy whose face we might have been tired of in Justin Trudeau and a new guy that wanted to come in and bring some new ideas in. And it was an internal to Canada discussion. Now our challenge is, of course, we've got this external threat with the United States on tariffs and taxes and even sovereignty, if you believe what the president says. So that's changed the entire issue set, and I think it has people sitting back a little bit and saying the past isn't prologue. Maybe we better take a look at this one more time.
I want to get your thoughts on this report from CHCH about India meddling in the Conservative leadership race. Poilievre saying today that he won fair and square, but he could have known about this at the time if he had his security clearance, as I understand it. Why doesn't he just get it and take that attack line away from his opponents? Carney and Singh both going after him today.
Yeah, look, it's a great question, and it is a very complicated issue. But I think what people have to understand is this security regime was set up brand new by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to deal with foreign interference. He set the rules in such a way that any opposition politician that got their security clearance and got a briefing wouldn't be able to discuss it with Canadians or in the House of Commons. That's always been the Conservative leaders' stumbling block with this. And don't take my word for it. I mean, even Tom Mulcair, the former leader of the New Democratic Party of Canada, certainly no fan of Pierre Poilievre, said the same thing. This is a story about nothing. It's a tempest in a teapot. He's already been cleared. He already has his security clearance. What this is somehow top secret information being briefed with Globe and Mail reporters. Maybe CHCH should take a look at, or whoever has the top secret clearance, maybe briefing the leader of the opposition instead of briefing the media.
But the optics of this, people are always going to look at it and say, well, why doesn't he just do it? Why doesn't he just do it? You know, they don't understand the insides. So if it is a tempest in a teapot, again, why not just do it?
Well, and that's exactly it. But I think at this point, if Pierre were to get, the leader of the Conservative Party were to get his security clearance and were to find out new information about any member of the House of Commons, his party or other parties, he wouldn't actually be able to say anything. So I think that's actually the challenge with the entire process here. There are certainly existing provisions that allow CHCH to brief politicians. I look to people like Michael Chong, who was a target of foreign interference, his family as well, and he details this, that there are many ways to be able to get briefings from CHCH on this, not through the media, which is what either a Liberal operative or CHCH themselves has decided to do in this case.
That's Conservative strategist Will Stewart. Will, thanks so much for your time this evening.
Thanks, Matt. Great to see you.